I love this word, outsource.
Yes, you do love that.
Why do for yourself what you could get someone who's more of an expert to do for you? Okay, because there are the things that you could do yourself, but are not necessarily the best use of your time and aren't really in your wheelhouse. So if you have a way to take a task, look at the task you have and say, what can be outsourced? How can I get someone who's more of an expert to do these things? So for example, the book editing. I could do it, but I'm not going to do a very good job. But someone who's an expert at it, that's time well spent. That's money well spent.
Exactly. Whereas you can't outsource your infectious enthusiasm and your speaking. That's got to be you.
No, that's got to be me. But that's the thing that I really love doing.
Yeah.
If we're talking about planning an epic journey, perhaps you could plan your own epic journey, but what if you went to a travel agent or a tour operator who knows much more about where you're going and maybe things that you should see and places that you should stay? That's a good outsource right there. Maybe the trip costs you a little more, but frankly, if you didn't have to worry about, did I choose the right hotel? Am I getting the best deal? How am I going to get there? I think that's really important.
Unless you sent those epic locations to me, you've got me excited about epic travel.
Absolutely. And I've said this, but invest in others who are experts in the areas that you are not. I think all too often people think, small business people, oh, once I'm successful, I'll be able to get a virtual assistant or someone to do marketing or whatever. If it is at all possible to find a way to pay that marketing person now, that's going to take something off of your plate that is really hard for you, easy for them, and frees you up to do other things that you need to do for your business to be successful.
Absolutely.
Get a mentor to help you. Okay. Yeah. Mentors are phenomenal because a lot of times they've already gone down this road. So they can help you and help prevent you from falling into a huge pothole.
Because you can even smart people make rookie mistakes. Everybody makes the first time mistakes, and a mentor can totally help you avoid those common errors. Exactly. Save time and money.
And it's also someone to be accountable to. It's someone who is your cheerleader.
Yeah.
And exactly. Set some milestones to measure your progress. Mm-hmm. It's always nice to be able to see how successful we're being, how we're getting along. The journey is so much easier when you have some waypoints to aim for. And a few years ago, I went on a weight loss journey. And I set some specific weight loss goals, weights that I wanted to hit. And at each one of those, I had rewards. I had something that I was working towards. And when I hit that, when I stepped on the scale and saw that number on the scale, I got to go do X, or it's time to go buy some new clothes because now my old clothes are too big now. How exciting is that?
I love that you have added the rewards. I think it's so important to have milestones. People often forget that, but 9 times out of 10, people forget some kind of reward. All work and no play makes it very dull. So I love that you have that.
Right.
I like happy faces on the calendar, or just something I can see visually.
And one of the rewards when I was much younger was I was at a school that was really academically challenging. And my parents said to me, there were 3 honor rolls. It was 3rd honor roll, 2nd honor roll, and 1st honor roll. And they set out different rewards that I could get for making these honor rolls. I think they were smart. They understood my ability. And so if I made 1st honor roll, which meant I had a 95 average or above, I was going to get a mini bike, a dirt bike, a motorcycle. That was awesome. I never got that. I was good, but I was never going to have that 1st honor. But it was great that they put it out there anyway. But I did, the first time I made 3rd honor roll, I got a stereo. And that was really so rewarding to know that I was working hard, and my hard work I got a stereo. And it wasn't any fancy stereo or anything, but it was just the fact that I now could listen to music in my own bed.
Was this when you were at the boarding school?
Before I went to boarding school, I was in 6th grade when I got my stereo.
I like that story. Where did you go to boarding school?
First I started at Avon Old Farms in Avon, Connecticut. And then I ended up transferring and graduating from Dublin School in Dublin, New Hampshire, which I love dearly. I sit on the board at Dublin and do a lot for Dublin. I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't have Dublin.
Huh. So the boarding school experience was good.
Look, at times it was challenging, but it was really good. I liked it. Keep your eye on the prize. Remember why you're on this epic journey. I know I keep saying it because I'm really excited about it, but I passed my license exam, and I had to keep my eye on the prize. That was a 6-year eye on the prize. Remember why you're doing this and what your end goal is. And one of the things I want to say, because I certainly know this of myself, be open to more than one path that will get you there. We keep talking about a journey. There may be more than one way to get there. And I will completely own that I am a creature of habit. And once I'm doing something one way, that's the way I'm going to do it. And I don't really even think about often. I'm trying to do it more, but I don't think about that there may be another way to do this. And the example is, for 5 years, I worked at Intel, and I drove about an hour to get to work. And I took the same exact route every single time, never entertaining that there might be some other ways to get there. It was only when there were dual accidents on the 2 major freeways that I would take to get home that I learned of a new way that I could get to work or get home. It took a little longer, probably about 10 minutes longer, but it was infinitely more beautiful. And it was great to all of a sudden go, I feel like I'm going to take my B route to get home.
Huh. That's a great example, because that's so true in life. We also get stuck in a certain rut, and there may be other paths. Quite often, are there many other paths, and some can be more beautiful.
Right. But think about when you're driving someplace that you go all the time, the gym, the supermarket, whatever. Now, there may be only one way that you can efficiently get there, but there may be some other ways that you could do it, just for variety.
And plus, when we keep our eye on the prize, that's important, but don't be too rigid about the path that's going to get you there.
Absolutely. Yeah, we all have ideas of how we want to get there. But again, be open that, hey, there may be a different way for us to get there. Be relentless in your drive to get to your prize. Okay, it can be hard. There are the days where you're just not what your prize is, but you're just not sure about getting there. And as I was thinking about that, I was like, when have I been relentless? And I was thinking back, I was going back in my life, and I got to college, and I'm like, my semester in Australia. I have always been fascinated with Australia, really wanted to go there for a semester abroad. The school didn't have a program, but I could find a program that I could apply through. But then I had to academically justify why my college had a great semester abroad program, many different places, but I had to find an academic reason why they should let me go on this other program. I was a psych major and a history major. And one of the requirements for a history major is that you had to take at least one course in 3 different continents. Now, most people did the Americas, Asia, and Europe. Australia is not only a country, but it is a continent. And yours truly said, I'd like to take Australian history. Oh, darn, you don't offer it. I guess I'm going to have to go to Australia to meet the requirement for my major.
Clever.
And I got to Australia, and I got to study, and it was fascinating, and I learned so much, and it changed who I was. But I was relentless. I'm like, I am getting to Australia. Exactly.
Relentless is really important. You got to stick to it.
Yeah, again, keeping the eye on the prize, understanding why you're on your epic journey.
Mhm.
And there are the days where it is challenging and you question, do I really want that prize?
Yeah.
And hopefully the answer is always, yeah, actually I do.
Yeah. So keep your eye on the prize and be relentless.
Yeah. Another thing that helps you achieve it is share your progress.
That is so true. Having other people as classmates or on that same journey just makes it so much richer. And then you stick to it, right? Like you have a buddy you go exercising with. You want to go, you go because you've made an appointment.
Absolutely. And nothing is more motivating than praise. Most people, like some people might feel a little uncomfortable, but I think most people like to hear good for you at a person, girl, boy, man,
Yeah.
woman, him, they, whatever, like just yay you.
Right. So feedback from others is so important. And
Absolutely.
even if they're not celebrating, maybe this is what you were going to say next, and I'm cutting you off. I hope not, but probably I am. Yes, go ahead with your next point.
Well, no, but what I was going to just share that I shared passing my license on
Yeah.
Facebook and had so many people comment and congratulate me and stuff. And that was awesome.
Yeah. And also you inspire people because as they're celebrating your journey, they're like, well, maybe I could go back to school. Maybe I could get a master's degree.
Absolutely. So I think, again, when we're on our journey, when we get some feedback, some positive feedback, it's really helpful. I know I've mentioned more times than I should have, but in running the marathons, when there are people who cheer you, complete strangers. When I was running, I'd have my name on the front of my shirt, a lot of people, and people just go, yes, Andrew, go, you got it. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
Especially in those hard miles where you're questioning yourself, the prize you want, but you're questioning whether you really want it that bad. So I think that motivation is always great. I think when it does get hard, encouragement can be your life vest. When I was in fifth grade, I went from a school where I had 2 hours of homework a week to having 2 hours of homework a night. And bless my parents. We referred to that as the year of tears. I cried so much and it was so hard
Mhm.
because I read really slowly and there was so much more reading. But my mom and my dad were so encouraging. We worked out ways to do it where, for example, actually even remember the book that I was reading. I have a freakish memory here, but I was reading the book Rascal, which is about this boy who has a raccoon named Rascal.
Huh.
And I had to read, I don't know, 15 pages or something a night. And that was going to just take forever. And so I would read a page, my mom would read a page, or my dad would read a page, I would read a page, they'd read a page to help me get through that. And that encouragement and that belief in me really got me through that really challenging time.
Mm.
And that kind of encouragement, when you start to doubt yourself, but someone doesn't doubt you, that is so helpful.
Plus, it wasn't just words, it was action. It was love in action. You're,
Absolutely. And
you're-
sometimes people have to wait a whole decade to help someone really start to grab the potential that they have. I'm not going to name any particular people, people waiting a decade, Aurora.
Patience is good.
Now, the last thing I want to talk about today, be your number one cheerleader. Absolutely. If you don't believe it, they're not going to believe it. How can anyone else want to go on an epic journey with me if I don't believe in the epic journey? Remember the 97-3 rule that I've talked about. Say to yourself out loud that you are doing it. It's amazing when we actually speak out loud to ourselves how wonderful that is. How does this sound? I need to hear these words. There's no one else around. It's got to be me who says it.
Mhm.
You're doing it. You got this.
Yeah.
It's great. Think about when you're in an exercise class. and it's hard. The instructor's asking you to do stuff really hard. You got to say to yourself, okay, it's only a minute more. I got this, even though I feel like I'm one heartbeat away from complete heart failure. And they're asking me to ramp it up again. And you're like, you don't realize that I'm on the edge here, folks. I don't know how you think I'm doing more, but okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
I got this. That's a really good one.
And the last thing that I want to say, and it's something I actually wrote down for myself as a motivational kind of thing that I saw every day for 5 years. When you ask yourself, how do I do this? How do I get this? How do I accomplish this? Here's your answer. I already am.
Yeah. So it's like, how do I become a famous speaker?
I already am.
Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about just putting it out there to the universe. And when we say it, it's already done. I know it's part of what you do to help center us. And I know the words, but I can't remember. So I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, it's already done. So be it, so it is.
Yeah.
Really, it's you reach out your mental hand to claim your destiny, but it's already your destiny. But in the act of claiming it with your words, you bring it towards you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's just the time-space continuum that needs to unfold, but it already is done. It's already done. You're on your way. I got chills. I love that.
Yeah. And I said that to myself all the time. I had it actually on my bathroom mirror. So every morning as I'm brushing my teeth, I'd look up and how do I? ? I already am.
That's brilliant, because people can get so tripped up with the how questions, and that just cuts through all of that.
It really does. It does. How can like totally grind you to a halt? And I'm trying to encourage you not to have it grind you to a halt.
Exactly. Claim it, be it, you are it. Okay, so this was such a great episode. This is like so turbocharged. Any one of these 6 things can change people's lives. So I challenge the listeners to do one of these things today. So just to quickly summarize, 6 points in achieving an epic journey. Break the plan down into bite-sized pieces, number 1. Number 2, outsource. Number 3, set milestones to measure your progress. Number 4, keep your eyes on the prize. Number 5, share your progress. And number 6, be your own number 1 cheerleader. This is really great. So in a second, we're going to hear from Xander any further thoughts he might have, as well as what's coming up on our next show. But do yourself a favor and go to epicbegins.com. There's all kinds of epic gifts for you there, or go to aurorawinter.com and you can grab some gifts for you there as well. And of course, tune in to the next episode where we will be covering
how to enjoy the journey. Now we've talked about your plan. We've talked about how to achieve it, but you want to know what? You should be having fun while you're on the journey. So we're going to talk about that our next episode.
And I can't think of anybody better to teach us how to enjoy the journey than the God of enthusiasm, Xander Sprague himself.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's so much fun.
Much fun. All right, that's a wrap for this show. Bye for now.
Bye.